Okay, you know the feeling, right? You're having a rough day, you feel down, and what's the first thing you do? You grab your headphones and you put on the saddest song you can possibly find. It seems kind of backward, doesn't it? But what if I told you that you're not actually looking to wallow in self-pity? What if you're looking for salvation? That's what we're going to dig into today. This idea that a simple melody can actually be a map to escape our own sadness.
I mean, this is the big question, right? Why on earth do we do this? It feels like a total paradox that so many of us experience, but we never really stop to think about it. Are we just piling on the misery for no reason? Or is there something way deeper going on? Something that's actually healing? I think the answer is going to completely change the way you listen to music from now on. So to really get this, our journey has to start by tackling what you could call a dangerous lie. It's this really powerful, super common internal battle, a lie that isn't just coming from the outside world, but from our very own brains when we're feeling low. And there it is. That's the lie. It's that little voice nagging you in the back of your head, telling you that you must feel better. You know the one? Just snap out of it. Get over it. But here's the thing. That pressure we put on ourselves, it's not just unhelpful. It's actually really harmful. It's what sets the stage for an even bigger problem down the road. And let's be real, this isn't just something in our own heads. Society kind of teaches us this, right? We're supposed to suppress sadness, put on a happy face, no matter what's going on inside. But trying to slap a little happiness Band-Aid on a really deep emotional wound, well, that doesn't heal anything. All it does is let that wound get worse in the dark. So, what happens when you keep doing that? When you just keep pushing those feelings down? Well, they don't just disappear. Instead, you kind of become a prisoner, trapped in your own inner chaos. And this right here is so important. See, when sadness isn't actually faced, it loses its shape. It stops being a specific feeling about a specific thing, and it just morphs. It becomes this huge, formless, overwhelming fog of chaos. And the reason it feels endless is because it literally has no boundaries.
I mean, think about that for a second. That is such a powerful way to describe it. Just imagine being trapped in a pitch-black room with no doors, no way out, no sense of direction. That's what suppressed emotion feels like. It's not just sadness anymore. It's total chaos, and you're stuck right in the middle of it.
Okay, but what if there was a map? What if the very thing we all thought was making things worse, that sad music, was actually the key, the way out?
This is where we need to completely reframe how we think about this. When you reach for that sad song, it's not self-torture. It's actually a deep subconscious instinct for survival. Your brain is desperately looking for a tool, any tool, to help you navigate that chaos. It's looking for a map.
Just look at this comparison. It's perfect. On one side, you've got your inner turmoil. It's formless, it feels endless, it's just pure chaos. But then you look at music, and what does every single song have? Structure. It has a beginning, it builds to a climax, and, crucially, it has an end. It's the literal opposite of chaos. And that is where the magic happens. A song's structure doesn't get rid of your feelings. No. What it does is it lends its structure to your feelings. It takes all that formless chaos and it kind of pours it into a container that has a shape, a path, a journey that you can actually follow from start to finish. And just like that, your role completely changes. You're not a helpless prisoner anymore. By following the path laid out by the music, you become a traveler. You're actively moving through the feeling. You're on a journey now. And you know what? Every single journey has an end.
So let's be super clear about this. Sad music isn't trying to cure the chaos. It's trying to give it a narrative. It takes all that overwhelming noise inside your head and turns it into a story. A story with a plot, a story you can follow, and a story that eventually you get to see the end of.
Okay, so this is all great in theory, but how do we actually use this? Well, this knowledge is more than just interesting. It's an active, empowering strategy. We can go from just being a passive listener to becoming the director of our own emotional journey. So here's the challenge for you. The next time you feel that pull to listen to a sad song, don't just be a passive listener. Don't just let it wash over you. Be the director. Take a seat in the director's chair and consciously use that song as the powerful tool that it is. So what does that look like? Here are the steps. First, make a conscious choice. I'm not going to just drown in this feeling. Second, really follow the melody. Trace its journey from the first note to the last. Third, when the song hits its climax, its most emotional point, ask yourself, where is this going? How does this resolve? And finally, just listen with purpose. Know that what you're hearing is your own personal escape map.
All right, this brings us to what might be the single most important part of this whole idea, the most powerful piece of the entire map that music gives us when we're in that dark place.
Just think about it for a second. The reason the chaos felt so terrifying was because it felt endless. But a song always has an end. It has to stop. That final note fading into silence, that's a promise. It's a real, tangible demonstration that the feeling you're in right now does not have to be permanent. Seriously, let that sink in. When you give your shapeless pain a beginning, a middle, and an end, you are proving to yourself that it's survivable. It becomes a story that you lived through, not a prison that you're trapped in forever. That final silence after the song, that is the sound of your prison door finally swinging open.
So, next time you're having one of those days and you reach for your headphones, I want you to remember this. You're not just a passive listener. You're a director, and you're picking the script. You're a traveler, and you're choosing your map. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell?